is upon us. Decisions are going to be made here, and we're only hoping for the best. We only want to see Echo and Blacklist pick up their most favorite heroes, their most powerful picks here. LaFell, what are we looking out for?
Okay. First things first, I'm looking out for the Fredrin. The Fredrin has been banned because for both teams, Wise as well as Carl Teasy are really good on this Fredrin pick. Now, look at Blacklist International. Let's pay attention to the bans because they ban out the Cho as well as the Kaja. Both are pick-style heroes. Looking at Echo, they're making sure that BLCK will have a better time in his goal lane. So with the 1-1 gone, with the carry gone, I would say Beatrix increases in value.
I think the Eve increases in value as well. With the Kaja banned away, with a lot of bans here, you would really think that the Eve would become the #1 in prio, but Blacklist, they opt to go for the Barats, leaving the Eve open, and the Lapu Lapu that we mentioned earlier. You give Sanford this pick, and he carries.
So here's the gamble that Coach Tick and Treb have picked up on. You leave open the Eve, we're gonna pick it up, put a hero that Sanford loves, and what's the answer? What's the swing back? Do they go Benedetta? Do they go Yuzhong? Do they go Farsa? Because that seems to be the answer. And interesting, they're going for the Oheb Harith priority. We've seen this from Echo before.
I like what you said, priority, because that's how you see where their mindset is at. Because we got to talk about the Barats first pick, because that has to be your priority, and your priority pick dictates how you're going to move around the map. So in this game, they're putting a lot of weight onto Wise's shoulder to actually move the entire team forward. Now that they've seen the Lapu Lapu as well as the Eve, they understand that they want to set up a box. So we got to move around the box a lot. Haji, signature pick on the Farsa, and the Harvey, it's kind of like setting up. It's like, I don't care what kind of marksman you're going to pick. I'm going to be able to survive my lane and actually impact the game at, I would say, the mid stages of the game.
Now, though, you can already see the respect being given over, right? Blacklist International, this is the draft that they went for. A lot of magic damage. Without the S picked up in the early phase here for Blacklist International, Echo will take that away. Secondly, though, you can expect Edward to actually get counter or just targeted here. Maybe the Benedetta ban comes through because Blacklist still need a physical damage threat, but they still are going to try to nail down Venus's hero here. The Estes, now the Diggy.
Okay, so looking at Echo, they really want to make sure that when they dive, it is successful. But before that, we got a quote from Oh My Venus saying, we're kind of expecting that teams will ban the Estes, and we're actually prepared for it. I'm looking forward to see Estes in the banning section. And now, it has been banned. And what better place to show your maximum potential in the grand finals of the world stage?
With the Lolita being picked up here by Echo, they're leaving BLCK in both a dangerous and also protected spot, because again, they want to make sure that he isn't fully countered, but also you gotta wonder what else is out left there, because the Beatrix is out, the Brody is out,
Matilda.
They themselves panned out the carry and the 1-1. Are you seeing a carry here? Oh, rather a Matilda?
Yeah, I'm thinking Matilda and Blacklist International lock it up. The Benedetta 2 earlier on. They need a physical damage threat. And guess what? The Barats actually work super well with the Matilda, and that's the reason Echo banned out all these marksmen. They wanted to go for the Lunox. They wanted to go for some burst damage and some more magic damage, knowing that Sanford on the Lapu likes to go for just a lot of damage. Remember, yesterday we saw the Hunter Strike, the Bloodlust Axe. This is a very physical Lapu.
I would say, with the draft coming in from Blacklist International, this is a very good draft to start game number 1, because it is a very simple draft. This is what is going to give you confidence moving to game 2 onward. So honestly, I'm liking the draft coming in from Blacklist, because you can make very little mistakes with this kind of draft, with this kind of gameplay.
Yep, signature picks for all of our defending champions. For Echo, I'd like to say the only thing that's missing for me is the split push potential from BLCK. It's not as potent when you're on a hero like Lunox, but what it does have is amazing team fight engagement. A lot of damage when you hit your power spike. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Indoor Sinayan and all across the world, I hope you're ready. It's time for game 1 in this best of 7 between Blacklist International and Echo.
looking at both drafts, I would assume that they're not going to fight a lot in the early stages of the game. They're going to fight around Riverside. They're going to fight for the control around the turtle because they want to make sure that they have the levels first. So if you see any kind of rotation, it's all about maximizing the minions to make sure you get as much level 4s on your heroes before going into the turtle phase.
With 2 utility junglers, this is what you can expect, right? A lot of emphasis around the mid control. Why? To control the neutral objectives like you mentioned earlier. Mid control plays such a huge impact in this game, and you can already see for both of the teams, Venus and Haji, Sanji and Yaoi, they're focusing a lot, putting a lot of resources down into that mid lane to create some more pressure, but still, it's Blacklist International who secure the Lethal Wanderer.
Okay, so now, looking at Blacklist as well as Echo, not a lot of action will come true. I'm thinking they got to find a way for Echo to get Yaoi onto level 4 because that is a very big ultimate to have in the turtle fight. It's coming up in roughly 36 seconds. So Echo as well as Blacklist International, both teams, we saw in the best of 5 before, they like to see what the opponent wants to do first. Blacklist is asking Echo, Echo is asking Blacklist. Now Yaoi, he might get engaged for a little bit.
He does have the flicker here, pops the flicker just to escape. Blacklist International with a resource advantage before the first turtle spawns in 15 seconds.
That's going to be Blacklist here, knowing that they can buy time, but up top, Benny
already caught low, flickered out of that. Blacklist International now with 2 advantages in terms of resource, and maybe even Oheb can rotate down below.
Oh, but there's 3 members from Echo here. Sanji still clearing the wave. Carlteasy dashes on out. Sanford setting it up. Turtle less than half health.
That's going to be the final blow by Edward. Carlteasy going to be stunned up, but has the heavy spin. It does not matter. It's the first blood picked up by Echo, but the turtle will be slain by Blacklist International. Killed or objective. Benny going to be slain in the gold lane. Blacklist strikes back, making it equal.
2 ults spent by Blacklist up top. Echo takes 2 down in the bottom, but they do get Turtle. I'm talking about Blacklist. Was that worth it, LaFell?
I would say it's not that worth it because in my personal opinion, getting kills is very good because you can establish map pressure because what's the objective of getting the turtle? Sure, you want the gold, sure, you want the XP, but you want more control. Now, Edward going up against Sanford taking quite a bit of damage and Sanford's going to get chased.
Circling Eagle onto Sanford here. Haji does not have the airstrike. Down to basic attacks coming in. Sanji not going to be here to help him in time. Sanford falls in the XP lane.
So Festival of Blood lifesteal is just not enough at this level. 3 minutes in, and I'm not sure if there's enough. Yeah, no, none at all into the emblems.
Many though, look at that. That's going to be the damage coming in. The Illuminati Blast charged in, but knowing that Oheb has the Purify, they decide not to commit just yet.
Yeah, looking at all of the emblems as well as the way that they're setting up, Sanford, his personal goal in this game is to get at least 3 kills. Once he has that 3 kills, he will maximize his emblem. Oh, my Venus getting poked out just a little bit. But now, looking at the map, if Echo could give those 3 kills over to Sanford, we can see Echo being a little bit more explosive.
You can expect that Sanford's going to look for it. He's going to pressure Edward hard here. Sent him home just now because they want to time the way that this turtle goes. Again, we're 20 seconds away. BLCK pressuring Oheb as well. Oh my Venus and Yaoi playing footsies, making sure that their gold laner gets the advantage.
The zoning coming in again, right? This is what we kind of expect in the gold lane matchup. Harith, once you get to level 4, isn't really going to be able to threaten the Lunox. And even in the XP lane, we saw that Edward was winning early on, but now that Sanford has gone that level 4, has gone a few items down, it's a bit tough for Benedetta.
Oh, turtle already spawned. Carlteasy spots out Haji. Sanford, yeah, there's the RWM.
Not going to be able to find anything else though. The stun does connect with the Feather Airstrike connecting onto Sanford. The Petrify locks him down. Edward finds the pick up. Blacklist International now with a man advantage. Rotating around Eternal, circling Eagle onto Yao. He's going to be able to find the stun. Carlteasy jumping in. Numen Black charged in with the Flicker as well. Oheb with no Purify here. Doesn't use it just yet. Why still winning the Retribution battles at the top? This is on force. Now Yaoi going to be able to dodge away for now. That's a lot of burst damage as Yaoi will be slain by Edward. Echo losing out in the straight.
Blacklist has amazing battlefield awareness. They knew exactly where every member of Echo was. They almost threatened orange steal from Carlteasy, but they're not done.
A stun and a knock-up. It's still Matilda Airlines here for Blacklist International.
Blacklist is showing what they want to do with this draft. You want to establish control. You want to make sure that the Riverside, you're winning. And the specialty of having a Matilda is when someone overextends, they're not really overextending. In their previous fight, in the Turtle, they were very focused. What do we want to do? Turtle first, but now they want to kill.
And they get it, right? It's on to Venus, the roamer.
Anything that Echo can get here in the first 5 minutes, they will. In the first 2, they were willing to trade and get some advantages, but now wait, a stun onto Oheb, force out the 7 force.
Pops the Purify as well. The real world inflation almost catches Oheb, but he is able to get out of that one. Haji rotating towards the gold lane with a feather airstrike to clear it out, protecting his tier 1 up top.
This is difficult because we said for Echo, for them to win, they have to win the lanes. Here in the early game, not exactly the story because Blacklist now ahead maybe 1.5K. LaFell, what's going on?
I would say it's not enough because Blacklist, they understand this as well. So as long as they delay, as long as they wait for Oheb to get 2 items, then it's basically they're already doing at least half of their win condition. So it's not about Echo not doing it. It's more about Blacklist saying this time and time again, we understand how your draft works, so we're just going to play around it. So even though, okay, so here's the thing. Echo, they needed to win by 2K, by 2,000 gold. That's LaFell's threshold. So if Blacklist having 1.5K lead ahead, they're really at the driver's seat.
Well, right now, it does seem that way, but Echo are going to be able to force it out. Oheb going to be caught low, but Venus comes in to save Oheb again. Haji with the rotation, circling eager to lock Yaoi down. Good selection right now. The airstrike will come through. Yaoi going to be able to get the stun down onto Venus before he gets taken low. Now, guess who's here? It's Sanji with the real world inflation. Jumping in, but that you go. It's going to be the guiding win. Haji going to be slain though by Benny, who uses the chaos to take him down. Sanji still poking Venus down. Echo are looking to get the siege down onto the tier 1. Meanwhile, on the turtle side, Carl Teasy is going to be taken low with Sanford with the 2v2. That's going to be the bravest fighter popped into the back line right now. Is Carl Teasy going to be able to find it, and Wise is going to fall. Edward finding the stun onto 2 with the eye for an eye to dodge away from the CC. But still, Echo, they win out on that trade.
Not just that trade, but on 2 fronts. They pushed up top, got a kill down bottom, and took the last turtle of the game.
We got a lot here because again, 500 gold, that's great, but Sanford having 1 kill. He has 1 stack on his emblem, and now looking at this, Carl, he's in too deep.
He's looking for a steal here. He does get the orange buff, not punished enough by Black International. Oheb and Haji falling in the gold lane once again. We spoke about this. Winning lanes is how Echo can get it done, and Benny, 3 kills on him right now.
Finest example of cast circers. You start talking about it, you start questioning it, and it comes up almost immediately. Yaoi with the Numenal Blast.
Definite welcome to cancel it out. That's the anti-CC coming in. As Sanji does the damage onto the tier 1. Bravest fighter by Sanford just to get out. Gets that anti-CC down, unstoppable. Meanwhile, Blacklist International trying to make their way up to the gold lane. Gonna be poked down by Benny as Carl Teasy sieging down that tier 2 in the gold lane. Carl Teasy gonna be careful here. Takes the turret down. Gets out with relative ease.
What a swing for the House of Highlights. Unbelievable. I can't believe that maybe 4 or 5 minutes ago we were talking about how Blacklist was ahead, possibly way past the LaFell threshold, but now it's Echo who's pushing it, 2.5K ahead.
Well, they have gone way and above the threshold, and the way that they did it is because they understand, okay, we're just going to stay in lane. There's no use trying to out-rotate Blacklist at this point, so we're just going to say because Oheb is going to be the one that's going to deal a lot of the DPS damage later on, so shut him down first. Right now, there might be a skirmish in mid.
But the airstrike was used up just to clear up the waves. Echo, with this composition so far, can constantly be threatening these sieges. And also, they can also be looking for a lot of plays on the map. A lot of kill pressure here in their lanes.
Yep, and that's why they're ranked first in average kills so far. 16 plus, because the way that they attack the game, the way that they approach it with their strategy is they want to convert from kills. They don't want to take objectives only. They want to win first and then go from there, which is, I think, what they're doing here. They're baiting the Lord. This is a Lord dance if I've ever seen one.
Oh, Sanji's taken low. Edward jumps in, but Sanji flickers out on the final blow. The Petrify still available by Edward right now as he uses eye for an eye, but Sanford notices that. Jumps in with the bravest fighter. A lot of resources spent already as Wise looks for a better position. Haji going to be able to actually dash in with the wing by wings as that's the now blast connecting onto Edward. Edward going to be taken low, taken down by Sanford. And that's going to be a 50-50 play around the Lord. Wise here versus Carl Teasy, and Carl takes it down. It's a bond force by Oheb. Not enough to deal the damage right now. Xiaoi's gonna be able to get the stun down onto Haji, who's gonna be able to dash out of that one with wings by wings. Feather airstrike to snipe Sanji down. Benny! With the dash, takes the kill onto Haji.
Was that Benny Cutie DD? No, didn't even need the flicker.
Dude, that was Benny QT. And again, looking at the items here, because we got to see whether they are strong now or not. Looking at Benny Cutie, having 3 core items, Cloud Destiny, Lightning Treasure, as well as Divine Glaive. Right now, oh my Venus getting engaged by Yaoi.
Luminon Blast again, locking the Queen down. Venus gonna be chased down under the tier 2. Wise here providing the support. Carl TZ looking for an angle, but will back off for now. Tier 1 falling in the mid lane. Echo pushing the pace and the tempo.
Thou shalt not take my queen, says Wise. Echo pressuring mid lane tier 2, even tier 2 down bottom. That's Sanford going solo, Lord up top. Echo is 5k ahead here, 11 minutes in.
It's still not over because Blacklist International, they can still come back because they have a very beefy front line, as well as a lot of damage coming in from Haji and Oheb. Oheb just finished the Holy Crystal. Looking at the damage from Haji. Haji can't connect it just yet. Carl TZ is spotting people out. The Lord is here. Will Echo engage?
They will. Luminon Blast charged up already. Just to zone the other members away. As Oheb jumps over to Zaman Force. Wise in the front lines, providing the support. Real world manipulation, baited in. Sanji not dealing enough damage for now. Blacklist just backing off. Echo doing the same thing. Noticing they have the lead. It's disciplined plays from Echo.
Relatively safe defense and siege from Echo. They did their best to get the most out of that Elemental Lord, but we have a Luminous one possibly coming up in a minute and a half, forcing out a feathered airstrike. Echo is relentless. They're not leaving.
Yeah, but look at the way Blacklist, they're defending themselves because they're not necessarily sacrificing their own HP just to defend their base. Like, they're defending everything without taking too much. So now Blacklist, they're preparing themselves. In case Echo wants to engage, they can fight back. The problem is, Echo, they're not engaging. They know that they have a lead and they're not going to lose the lead. Looking at the items as well, oh, but before that, looks like everyone is just clearing everything out. Looking at Haji, he already has 2 main items. He's waiting for his own Holy Crystal. Once he has the Holy Crystal, the kill pressure is going to be a lot onto Echo. So right now, Blacklist, it looks like that's what they're waiting on. They're waiting for their carries to actually complete the items first.
It looks like Echo has cornered Blacklist into their base, and this is the trademark Blacklist defense. A lot of teams worldwide have been on the receiving end of this defensive rubber band, and it's not impossible that Blacklist still comes back. But with Echo at 6k, playing this defensively, playing this disciplined, waiting for this Lord coming up in 5 seconds, it looks like Echo also knows how to combat that.
It's going to be really tough now with a 7,000 gold lead technically built up by Echo. But with Blacklist minimalizing their losses, it seems like despite that 7,000 gold deficit, they're still able to contest, they're still able to open up the map without grouping up as 5.
Yeah, looking at the map as well, Blacklist, they're not really moving away from each other. They should understand that this Lord is going over to Echo for free. Having that Lunox makes it very difficult for you to contest.
And that's the power spike we're looking at. Echo, this is the inevitable. They have set themselves up for success here. And for Blacklist, the answer is to send Agent Zero, send Edward into the long lane and try to push that, because not a single tier 1 has fallen for Echo.
They didn't even have to use the Retribution, by the way. So Carl TZ was able to steal the purple buff away. So right now, again, Echo are just building up the way, slowly but surely, to finally take some base turrets down.
This is what kind of feels bad as a Baras. You kind of don't care too much about your buffs getting taken away, but what you do care about is it's hard for you to maintain those stacks, because Baras is at his strongest at like, what, 15 stacks? Because looking at Wise now, that is a pretty small Wise.
That's a small dinosaur there, and you're right. While Echo's taking away even the small camp, the small creeps in Blacklist jungle, and then freezing the waves, waiting for it to sink with this Lord, then this is the best that Blacklist can do. Oh, there's a couple of ults spent in. Oh, very low.
And we're going to be caught on Luminon Blast as Benny jumps in with the damage. And that's the combo, the notorious one. As Echo now looking for the siege into the base turret in the mid lane. Lord still marching in the top lane. Concealed play going to be popped in. Echo looking for more. That's for the airstrike popped in, but look at Sanford, he flickers under Haji, but he's going to be able to get out for a bit. Haji going to fall. The circling eagle does not save the queen. Oheb, the last man standing, but Echo will secure game number 1.
Battles going into game 2 here. it's about time we get into the draft. Lafel, what changes do you expect?
I'm expecting a change in the way that they're drafting for OHEB because even in their keys to victories, you got to look at OHEB to really carry the game. And for him to have an easier time, he needs to make sure he wins the lane. Sometimes that does mean you're going to delay your hero a little bit, potentially getting banned out in the later stage of the game. But at least you have the information to know what's going on. And in fact, looking at the draft right now, we talked about it in the pre-show where Blacklist International, they do the best as a second pick. So far right now, in the first pick, they don't have the necessary information of what Echo wants to do. So, you know, it's one of those things that we don't talk about so much, but as a team, not having their preferred, I would say, side to pick and ban may actually hurt them as well.
And that's exactly what's very interesting here, right? Because Echo, they do better in the first pick position. Now they're actually popping off on the red side of the map, second pick. Meanwhile, for Blacklist, like you mentioned, they do enjoy being the second pick a bit more. We saw from the statistics earlier on, 72% win rate. But here, you can see the adjustment also made by Echo. In game number 1, they banned out the Estes in the second phase of draft. Now, they're prioritizing it here, but they're leaving out a hero. Open. Blacklist did this. They banned it. Fredrin.
And now, this just shows the priorities that Blacklist have. Being here in blue side, having that one pick is so powerful because you get to build the lineup around it. And the answer by Echo is a Farsa and a glue. The glue, more of a hero that we don't ever see. And given that the Fredrin was the focus for Blacklist, now Echo have again solid choices for drawing that box.
My question is, because they're picking up the glue, are they like trying to bait Blacklist International picking up the Faramis? Because the Faramis is one of the counters for glue, but it looks like they're not going to bite. They're just going to take the Valentina.
Nope.
And this shuts down a lot of playmaking ultimates, just like the Grok with his wild charge. But before we go even further, this is a quote by TikTok. Their chemistry is really solid since they've been together for a long time. It's so hard to cut them down. This is the hardest part in fighting Blacklist International.
And I completely agree, Coach Dick. They have been together even before they won the World Championship. Yep. And now a year has passed and they're still here. They're still making a claim for that trophy that we're all looking at the center of the stage. Going into the second phase, Echo bans out XP lane choices because again, Sanford's happy with the glue. They go ahead and ban out the Lapu Lapu. I just gotta say, there's an odd absence of joy.
Yeah, the joy here not really going to be prioritized by any of the teams in the first phase. Heck, we might even actually see it ignored completely in the draft for game number 2. Joy is a bit of a gimmick hero. That's what I call her, right? Because it's all about just distracting the enemy team. Anyways, though, I do want to talk a little bit about this XP lane or just Blacklist International's draft because in a lot of their drafts here, we usually see that Fredrin is used as a flex pick. Not for Blacklist, though. Every single time the Fredrin is picked up by Blacklist, well, not every single time, but 90% of the time, it's jungle, right? Yeah. They always want a playmaker on Edward. That's the reason you're still seeing that Lapu ban here, the respect being given out, and also the Claude ban. They want to get rid of a hero that can blink out of the Detonus Welcome, can blink out of the real pure engage from the glue, even from the poke that's coming in from the Farsa.
But I still like the way that Blacklist are drafting because we've discussed that the way that they're going to win is through OHEB as well as AdWords. So now that they've seen at least 80% of the draft coming in from Echo, now they should have enough information to really understand what kind of heroes they should get. Because if OHEB and Edward loses lane, they're going to lose priority in the jungle or the riverside. And that's really going to impact how Blacklist plays. So this last 2 picks will really impact because at least now they see the Brody. What do you want to use against the Brody?
They still need to put yes, but they also still need to put a hero on Agent Zero, and that might be the key. Benedetta's still open here, but it looks like Echo has an answer. Oh, nope, there you go. We mentioned the Joy.
And they left it open. It's the Franco from Yaoi too. I love it, right? Again, we mentioned about the Joy. More of a distraction than a prio pick, right?
Yes.
But it is a good pick here. Noticing that Blacklist International, they're going to have that back line really targeted down by Echo. So what the Joy is going to do here is to create space by being that annoying hero in the enemy back line. Thing is, though, Echo waited for this. They knew it was coming, right? It was either they went for a Kufra pick, a Cho pick, or they see the Joy, instantly they go for the Franco. They can lock the Joy down.
Yeah, but given that Cho is banned out, Echo had the ball in their court. It was their shot to make. You mentioned the Kufra. Yaoi had a lot of
Crazy games on the Kufra.
chance to play that, but instead they go for the Franco. You know, a game lost be damned, but we don't care about it going into the Valentina. We don't care if Haji gets it. And looking at it, is it going to the hands of Valentina? Yes, of course. Yes, Haji, because again, there's a Fredrin. That's definitely Wise's hero.
Yeah, I'm just going to say we're going into game number 2. Blacklist International going up against Echo. And what I wanted to say was that Echo picked up the most banned hero of Blacklist International. They keep banning out this Franco. So now Franco in the hands of Echo. This might be a bad game for Blacklist.
Yep, and the reason why is because it breaks the Ube. You don't get to engage on your terms. And in the hands of the playmaker, Yaoi, it's going to be a great way to, again, either set up a box that Blacklist is not comfortable with or break whatever Blacklist is trying to do.
And this is a similar approach to, again, what RRQ did against Echo yesterday, right? They picked up that Franco, but unfortunately for RRQ, they didn't have anything to build around the Franco. Meanwhile here, I was questioning the Brody pick earlier on. I was like, what? Brody into Lolita? Then you see the Franco and you're like, there you go. That's what it was for. You hook the opponent away, and what's the Lolita gonna do, right? Sure, she can actually jump in, flicker, maybe to get that shielding down, but it's a bit too risky, and if Venus is on the receiving end of the hook, it's gonna be a lot to deal with here, and Venus right now is gonna be caught. Yaoi gonna throw the iron hook. Good dodge by Venus.
Yeah, looking at this game, Blacklist International, I would say after the group stages, this Franco is a nightmare for them because it is the reason why they've lost. So now we got to see their evolved form. Have they been able to find a way to fight against this Franco? Right now, looking at the lanes, not a lot is going on. Wise goes down to fight against Sanford, but I don't think they can secure a kill here.
Too sustainable, gets out of that one. Wise is level 4, Carl Tizzy as well. Both of these junglers clearing very, very fast. In the end, it's Hachi who actually steals the gold buff away.
Yep, looking at a potential 3v3, 4v4 down bottom as they both jockey for position, finding a good pull for this Lord. It looks like Echo is the one first on the scene. Carl Tizzy whacking away. Oh, there's a ult!
Yeah, Sanford zoning very, very well here with a split as well. Bringing Wise away. Numenov Blast can be charged in. On to Carl Tizzy, but no! It's Yaoi who finds the iron hook and Carl Tizzy finds the retribution. Edward in the back line. That's a stolen for the airstrike as the Bloody Hunt comes down onto Edward to lock him down. Sanford finding Wise. The flicker over. Edward picking up another. It's a 2-for-1 right now. Echo still equal though in terms of the trade because they secured the turtle.
I like how Blacklist played that fight just now because even though they were focusing on the turtle, they kind of understood that it's not 100%. It's not even 50-50. It was kind of a 60-40 at that point. So they tried to find the alternate win condition around the turtle, which is try to get a little bit more kills. So they were willing to expand a lot of their resources there. Looking at the items right now, really not a lot of power spikes just yet. The Beatrix here, piloted by Oheb, understands that there is a chance he's going to get attacked, and right now, Carl Tizzy is getting attacked.
He is the frontliner, though, so he's happy taking that damage in. Haji is going to be the one losing a whole lot of HP from Sanji. Venus does too, and now that mid control is for Echo.
And you're seeing here the difference between Haji and Sanji, a Valentina and a Farsa. It seems like now, when the ult is ready on Sanji, he's just willing to pull it out and then force Haji to respond. It's all about timing. It's all about engagement. And Yaoi, did he do it? No, the Filipino sniper still confirms the gold crab.
That was an insane calculation, man. An insane micro play by Oheb, right? He knows exactly how it was going to go down. Even with the snipes there.
I got to say, in my head, he was holding his breath and like, 1, 2, just get it. And I just want to touch a little bit about the emblems because in terms of scaling, I kind of feel like Blacklist, they have an advantage because Oheb is using a marksman emblem compared to BLCK using the assassin emblem. He's going to have a lot of damage, but still, in terms of scaling, Blacklist, they have it in the bag, and now looks like Echo, they're just going to push Blacklist away. Don't push too hard.
Oh, not an engagement that Echo wants to go for because, again, they spent a few ults there. Mind you, Yaoi still has the Bloody Hunt, still has a hook waiting on him. BLCK as well, torn apart memory, goes for a pull. Numenov Blast charged up by the Queen. That as well by Carl Tizzy.
And Carl Teasy is going to be able to spin him out. That's a Bloody Hunt locking Edward down. Edward taking low, but still able to survive for now. Turtle Prime member getting popped in as Benny flickers forward to pick up the kill. Turtle over to Blacklist right now as Sanford jumps in with split, bringing Venus back for the damage to come through once again. Sanji picking up. Yaoi almost finding the Iron Hook. That's demobilized. Haji pours the flicker out, and Echo will be able to take the better trade.
2-0. Turtle goes over to Blacklist, though, as well. It's actually Echo who took it. Wow, clear win now for the Orcas.
Yeah, clear win because they have a lot of birds in the early stages of the game because Wise being in the front line, he can CC them for a bit, and Oheb, that was lucky that he did not get cooked. And so far, Oheb will be fine. Looking at the items, clear power spikes right now. Looking at Edward, he's not going to be tanking a lot, but he can do a lot of damage because of the Genius Wand. So as long as he can prolong the fight, he can really help himself out, as well as Haji. Speaking of which, Haji is using a scale kind of itemization, so he's not going to be too strong right now, but I would say in 8 minutes, he's really gonna power through Echo.
Yeah, and honestly, I do really want to talk about how Blacklist International are negating the bully potential from the Brody, right? Because earlier we saw the lane frozen by BLCK in that lane. Wise instantly stopped by into the gold lane, even risking his life just to help Oheb clear it out. And this is what's going to get Blacklist to that item power spike for Oheb in the gold lane. The Beatrix has been farming very well, considering that he is in a losing matchup up against that Brody.
Yep, and we're just waiting for that to flourish. We're just waiting for that to get the payoff. Bottom lane, though, you see the XP laner just leaving constantly. Very good wave clear from both the Joy and the Blue Owl, the pull on Wise.
The Iron Hook, and that's going to be Bloody Hunt. Chained in, but that's just welcome as Edward jumps in with a lot of damage coming down. Sanji with the wings by wings, getting out. Moving on blast, and the airstrike stolen away by Haji with the IMU. Venice Rage, able to find the kill on the Sanford. Carl Teasy going to be gunned down. That's the Iron Hook to provide the peel necessary for Carl Teasy. It's a 1-for-1. The XP lane traded in for the jungler.
Wait, look at BLCK.
Oh, watch out. Benny from the back line. Oheb hasn't spotted him yet. We're going for the turtle. There's the pull. Yaoi as well. Look at this. Prime positioning from the Echo squad. Oh, he's revealed. There's the hook.
Yaoi missed it. Gonna be stunned up. Venus actually onto the turtle. Carl Teasy with a quarter of his HP bar. Oh, that's the feather airstrike prematurely popped in. Sanji's gonna be zoned away now, but Benny, again, this is the man that we're gonna be looking at. Wise, gonna be hooked down. That's the moment for Benny to jump in. That's the damage coming through the Turtle Prime memory as well. To take the turtle and to take Oheb. Carl Teasy with a Death's Welcome. Not gonna be able to find it just yet. Sanford onto Venus, bringing him back. Lunar Blast gonna be popped in, but it's not gonna be able to get charged all the way. Edward, stunned up, suppressed. Bloody Hunt popped in. Yaoi gonna fall to the hands of Edward as Sanford still wants to keep on going. Sanji rotating back into the mid lane. Wise gonna be brought back. It's a pause here in the 7th minute of the game.
Messy engagement, and the payoff was just about to come up. Benny Curie able to hide in that bush, put a few marks on several members of Blacklist International, plus on the turtle, which allows Echo to pummel on through forward, but you can't discount the fact that Blacklist played that very well as well.
Yeah, Blacklist played it very well, but again, BLCK is just understanding the situation, not understanding like just his hero, just Blacklist hero, but he's like, okay. Because I kind of feel like a lot of people looking at that situation, Oheb was kind of isolated by his team. It was prime position to just stun him up, get some stacks in, and then just kill him off just like that. But he's like, no, I'm going to wait and say, I'm going to make sure everyone is close enough. He gets into turret range, he can get stacks onto a lot of people and get maximum value from his ult. And that's what he did. He got maximum value from his ult.
And again, there's a very thin line between, I guess, a mistake and being local, right?
That was pretty local.
That was so close for it to being a mistake, but the fact that Benny's still alive now, at the cost of Carl Teasy's life, it allowed for it to be local.
And it comes down to trigger discipline, right? The fact that he was in the bush for so long, even Yaoi is spotted, and he still stuck. He was like,
and
okay,
no one checked the bush
I'm
as well.
committing, bro. I'm committing. And he committed, right? Because Yaoi was spawned out already, they were like, no way. There's no way a Brody is waiting in that bush.
Yep.
It turns out, that's how Benny plays, buddy.
No way a marksman will flank, right? I mean, that's like an assassin kind of thing.
Yeah, Benny's an assassin sometimes. You can kind of say he's an assassin because of the way he plays these marksmen. He flickers forward, he looks for flanks, and here, we're going to see the player head-to-head.
Never let them know your next move. That's what Benny did. Never let them know your next move.
And that's what makes him a force of nature. That's what makes him the storm. He just comes up. And here, leading these two players, the gold laners, are these roamers, all right? Yawi, the playmaker, and his idol, Momshu. Oh my Venus. Again, they're two different kinds of roamers, two different kind of team captains, but the way that they lead their teams are just perfect for their playstyle.
We've seen it, right? Again, Yawi with more flashy heroes. But for Venus, it's time to enable. But here, we're going to be put in right into the team fight. Echo with, actually, it's a pretty good trade now that I see it for Blacklist.
Benny
Not
died.
that bad.
Yeah.
Benny actually fell. But the airstrike, though, from Sanji in the mid lane, making it in favor of Echo.
All right, something transpired in between the time we resumed and paused in. But for now, real quick, folks, Blacklist forcing out a push up top. Buff still secured per side. And we're looking at a possible kill on Edward.
Nope. That's Edward for you. Gets out in relative ease again, right? Echo trying pressure, but now it's just for Blacklist International to punish in the goal, well, in the other side of the map, which is going to be the XP lane. They even tried to deny as much as possible from Benny, forced to use the torn apart memory to get those last hits.
This is the world stage, so I'm allowed to be a little bit more critical looking at the way that the game is transpiring.
We just spoke about this, Yawi versus Venus, and Yawi is going to be able to find that iron hook. Connecting onto Wise, bringing it back under the tier 1, and that's everyone collapsing. Benny with a torn apart memory back up on that cooldown is going to be able to secure it. Feather airstrike now on to Haji and Ohem. Haji going to be stunned up, has the feather airstrike, but both teams disengage.
King and the Queen in a flash goes out. I mean, Edward able to make the most of a bad situation, but LaFell, what does this mean?
First of all, I just want to say I'm so glad I was interrupted because I was about to say Blacklist was actually looking pretty good because Oheb is going to scale up and Yawi's not hitting the hooks, but never mind. Yawi got a very crucial hook, and the thing is, this is the time where Benny Cutie, I would say, is almost at his max because he already has his Blade of Despair as well as the Fury Hammer. Enough penetration, enough raw damage. This is the time you force the fight. This is not about waiting. If you see an opportunity, just go for it.
And it looks like Blacklist has already found their window. Haji pulling out Sanford, Carl Teasy losing the pull battle against Wise. Blacklist have a small favorable position over the Lord. It's closer to the south, closer to Wise. They spot on Venus. Yawi throws out a hook. And now the Lord dance continues.
It's a very slow Lord dance. It's a macro-centric play here. Mid-control. Steel fought for, and that's concealed though. Yeah, we're gonna be able to find Haji with Bloody Hunt as well. That's the damage coming through, and a turn apart memory finds its mark. The Venom's Rage to follow it through. Yeah, we're gonna be taken down. Sanford jumps in with split. Venus put him on blast, stunning him up right now. Skull Teasy gonna be taunted up. But the airstrike to the back line. Oh, he's gonna be spot caught. Wise now with the Appraiser's Wrath. Still able to sustain for a bit as Sanford is still on that split. Jumps back away.
Still
Venus
going.
taken low. That's gonna be Benny dealing out of damage. Now with the turn apart memory. Benny QT with a flicker forward again. Styling on Blacklist International.
That team fight could not have been better for Echo. 4 down, no clap back from Blacklist, and Echo now making a beeline straight for this Elemental Lord.
Okay, now Edward coming in, not going to be able to steal. But yeah, in this game, objectives are important. And Sanford, he's going to get chased. Will he actually get down? Yawi stops the progression of Edward. And as I'm saying, objectives are very important, but it doesn't have to be the turrets. It doesn't have to be the Lord kills our objectives as well. And again, Echo, their draft, they have a lot of big potential. So they're really using their draft to the finest. I like the way that they approached it. Don't fight the Lord. Kill them first.
And they did. They found bodies, pushed them all the way behind tier 2 down bottom. And it's putting on my Venus, who just hit the ranked first one, average assist, 10.4 per game here in M4, into a weird position. When do I use Numenor Blast? When do I protect my teammates? When do I find a proactive spot, a window for us to clap back? And it's looking harder and harder by the minute. Echo pushes mid tier 1, and now they're threatening tier 2 as well. Watch Sanji, he's concealed.
Yeah, and he pops in the feather airstrike, zoning Oheb away as Edward jumps in closer. Sanji with the wings by wings, getting out. Feather airstrike being popped. Sanji flickers out. Call TZ. Finding the death to his welcome onto Wise, gonna be stunned up again. No, not blast all from Venus. out of nowhere. Sanford's still in the front lines. BLCK dealing damage right now. Edward's going to be able to jump into the back line, but the Bloody Hunt catches Edward. And a torn apart memory silences him, takes him down. Sanji with wings by wings. Oheb going to be taken low. Forced to flicker around by Yaoi. And Sanford flicker forward. Now, Echo still on the march. With another airstrike taking Venus down. Haji is all alone. Terrifying Yaoi. Still able to survive with Iron Hook. Connects again. And Echo have wiped out Blacklist International. They're looking for the end. No minions on the board. They're forced to back away.
5 for 1 plus 2 major objectives pushed in by the Orcas. This is both discipline and ruthlessness. LaFell, where'd they pull this from?
First of all, I gotta say, there's a reason why Franco is the most banned hero for Blacklist International. I kind of feel like going to the next game, it has to be put into contention. Now, Blacklist, how this really happens is because Echo always finds a way to actually dish out damage onto Oheb, because every single fight, look at where Oheb is positioning. It's not that his positioning bad, it's just that he has to constantly run away. He has to run away from BLCK. He has to run away from Sanji, from Sanford, from Yaoi. There's so many ways he can get caught, and it's so hard to micromanage all of it, especially when Echo, the way that they attack, sometimes Oheb doesn't see it coming.
It sounds like Blacklist has been overloaded by Burst and also a good amount of CC. And those two things are lethal against a lineup like Blacklist, against the Ube strat. And they just can't pull it off here as BLCK forces a push up top. And that's a clean tier 2 tower take, gonna help open up this Luminous Lord for Echo. Now 8k ahead at 13 minutes.
That's insane. And on top of that, Benny's on a hero like the Brody, who snowballs like an absolute monster. And you can see here, this is the play by Blacklist International. They still want to contest. Lord taken to half HP. Carl TZ still on it. This is the Lord dance. As the mid lane pressure will be popped in from Echo. 8,000 gold lead. The defender airstrike will be popped in. The zone. Other members away. Carl TZ with that as well. Combining it. Haji stealing. The airstrike again. The better straight. Into the now blast. Why steals it away? Yaoi got the Bloody Hunt, but it's all for naught. Sanford all alone. Yaoi's gonna be gunned down. No base. Back. Benny. UD again with the back door.
Damn you, Benny! Debut on the world stage. He takes game 2 away from Blacklist International.
That title, they're hungry for it.
And it's right here, center stage, seconds away from the draft. We're going into game number 3. Coaches and analysts have major decisions to make. What are we opening up for trade? It's Echo now on the play, blue side, banning out the Diggy, the Estes, and the Glue, while Blacklist take out the Cho, the 1-1, and the Eve.
I just want to say one thing. Echo, they're showing full respect to Blacklist International. Their first pick, they're betting out the Estes as well as the Diggy, because if they can always make sure that they're getting Oheb as well as Haji, the only way that they can be saved is having a little bit more HP. So getting that out of the way, I really feel like Echo has broken the code. As long as they can sustain long in the fight, then it's GG, because Wise can be in front all he wants. We really don't care. Oheb and Haji is not there, we're gonna win. But sacrificing the Fredrin, they're getting the Fredrin for themselves and letting go of the carry. How do you feel about this?
I feel like it's a risk that Coach Treb and Tick are willing to take.
Wow.
And now even the Farsa is out of Sanji's hands. But they have a response just as quickly.
Oh my
this
God.
This is Echo showing preparedness, showing momentum, showing courage.
And showing they know what Blacklist is going to go for.
Yeah, just like how Blacklist, or my Venus specifically, is ready for that Estes ban, Echo seems to have a play out of their playbook as well.
There's so much to play with now if you're Echo, right? It's insane. Fredrin first pick, the carry was responded with. That was a good pick by them. But then, hey, Echo banned the Estes and the Diggy. Usually you'd see the Kaja here. Kaja was open. They also answered that backline threat that Blacklist have with their own. Here, in the Lapu Lapu, they can dive. This is such a good composition already for them, and you can see what they want to ban next. It's Barats. Every single time, they understand who to ban for. In game number 1, it was Venus, who was targeted. Game number 2, you can see a mix. Now, they noticed, hey, we picked up a hero for Wise, and he hasn't picked up a hero in the first phase. It's time to really go down and ban him out.
How do you feel about this coat, LaFell? Wise, who's confident in winning the M4 World Championship again because he's the only one who didn't use any assassins. He has 1,000 confidence, but how is that going to come into play here? Because that's a lot of non-assassins being banned out, specifically the Barat, and then his Fredrin's taken away from him as well.
I think what he's really trying to convey is that I don't bend towards the meta bend towards me. That's why he's really confident, because people can tell him all day that, oh, the Ling is good, Hayabusa is broken and everything like that, and he's like, sure, but my name is Wise. I choose what I want to play. And now, looking at Barats and Akai getting banned, what is he going to play? But I will say, I'm not actually looking at Wise to really change the game. If he does, then that's great. I'm actually looking at Edward, because I kind of feel like Edward is the key going up against this kind of draft, seeing the Kaja, seeing the Lapu, seeing the Fredrin. He should be the space maker and the initiator for Blacklist International to make sure that Oheb and Oh My Venus have optimal way to actually go into a fight.
Thing is, Blacklist International, they've tried that, right? They gave Benedetta a playmaking hero to Edward. In the second game, they gave him Glue to buy a little more time. Play as a distract. Oh no, sorry, Joy, my bad. Distract, right? But it didn't work both times. Now, what's open for him is that Benedetta, right? Wise is going to pick up that box share first. I was actually thinking the Valentina in the jungle. We haven't seen it in a long time, but with the Kaja having that Divine Judgment, it's a good ult to take. Benny still wants to play that Brody, knows that up against the carry, he actually has a bigger advantage here compared to last game in terms of just laning.
If anything, since the Valentina is not banned, might go into the hands of Echo, but it looks like Coach Treb and Coach TikTok are reading into it. I think they're afraid that Bonchan and Master Basics are ready for it. Because again, it's wide open, right? But you need a good level of burst to make Echo's lineup work.
I think the better option here would be the Lilia, right? You get a bit more sustainability. You already have such a good composition to dive in, but it does seem like they... Whoa!
Whoa!
Nope, not the Valentina, not the Lilia. They want to go in.
Dude, it's like, let's end this game as quickly as possible.
They want to go in.
Dude, I'm loving this. Okay, so Edward picks up the Yuzong. And again, this is what I want to see, because he has to be the one to dictate the fight. He has to go in. But man, oh man, the burst, Kaja picks up anyone. You got the Gushin. You got the Brody. Okay, here's the thing. I love the draft. Works or not, I love the draft.
Yep, this is a throwback to about 2 or 3 months ago when MPL Philippines, MYID were in Season 10. Gushin was a hot pick. Gushin went through a career renaissance, was picked right out of ranked games into the pro scene, and here it looks like Echo are going for match point with it. Will they be able to do that? Blacklist have a solid lineup as well. Signature picks all across. What's this Yuzhong going to do in the hands of Agent Zero? Is that enough of a instrument, of a tool to draw a line straight into the backline? Because what's the backline even for Echo? It's just Benny.
Dude, honestly, I kind of feel like it is enough, because just make sure everyone is close enough together, because you're just trying to distract. You're letting everyone else do the damage.
We'll see how fast Echo can go and how Blacklist answers back. This is game 3. This is for the M4 World Championships.
This is the first Gushin pick and M4 too, right? Fun fact. Hey, right during the break, when it was the analyst segment, me and Leo, we were talking about it. We were like, hey, Echo in game 3, they got a 2-0 lead. What are they supposed to do? Don't experiment too much in the draft. But here they are, experimenting in the draft again. In the world, at the world stage. My dude, this is insane. It's Gushin's debut.
I fully trust Coach Treb and Coach TikTok and Echo, all right? They're putting on a show for us.
No, I mean, like, it's an experiment in our eyes.
Yes.
They probably trained this for quite a while, because again, looking at Blacklist, look at what happened game number 1. Look at what happened game number 2. They kind of just forget about Wise. They forget about Oh My Venus, and in a sense, they forget about Edward as well. As long as you get Oheb and Haji, it's all right. You probably don't even mind if Sanji dies, if you can get both Haji as well as Oheb. So this is fine. And again, looking at Edward, I'm still looking at him to kind of carry, because what he has to do is to start a fight, collect everyone together. That's it.
And they're going to be able to do that, but at the midway point, because again, you're also waiting for Oheb. You're waiting for this carry to hit a power spike, because it's a tough way playing a carry into Brody.
It's very tough. The laning here, the matchup is not good for carry at all, right? You're going to be zoned away from your mini waves constantly. You need your Lolita or your Roamer, your jungler to help out, to break that freeze. And right now you're seeing that, right? Oheb is already getting zoned out of his own lane. The Brody has so much to say, and this is where Echo have been utilizing BLCK's stellar M4 performance. They're always playing around the gold lane, but now it's a turtle.
Oh, and also the XP lane. Look at this. Sanford and Sanji pressuring Haji and Edward. Oh, turtle very low.
Wow, Carl TZ steals it away from Blacklist International like it's nothing. Just walks up like a Chad and uses the retribution.
I just gotta say, because we didn't really see, because we're looking at the turtle, I want to talk about the micromanagement of the wave, because Sanji, he sacrificed his own wave, and look at his Yaoi engages.
Divine Judgment of the Petrify from Sanji. Now to the Banana Blast, gonna be popped in here, but Yaoi's gonna be able to get away from that one. Not for long as Wise is able to find the kill back. A roamer traded in for the mid laner. Still, Echo takes the trade.
Lafili, we're saying.
No, I'm just saying, because during that fight, Yaoi didn't even dare to go close to the turtle because he was already at level 3. Sanji, with the cushion, went to the EXP lane, absorbed some of that minions, while Yaoi secured the entire minion wave in mid, allowed him to get level 4. And we just saw the engagement there, but I want to talk about how Carrie's having a difficult time. It's going to be more difficult now that Yaoi already has the Divine Judgment, so Oheb, he had the bad time before, it's going to get worse.
Oh, and that's why I think King Wise and Queen V are going ahead alongside Haji. So again, they're leaving Agent Zero here to make the best of this dead lane against Sanford's Lapu Lapu. We're about 30 seconds and a quarter away from Turtle. Once more, Echo got that handily. There's a lot of burst coming in from the Orcas, giving them a 300, 400 gold lead. And in terms of items, is that enough? Oh, there's a pull!
That's the Divine Judgment, and that's all the damage placed on. Benny not going to use the torn apart memory just yet. That was a flicker burned in by Venus, and that's a W that Echo want to take, those small dubs.
Yeah, and again, as we said, you're already setting up your own playstyle. Get the level 4 as quickly as possible. Sure, it was slightly delayed because they went for something in mid, but now you can see they're putting a lot of pressure onto Blacklist International. This is what they've been doing. They're making sure that Blacklist can't stay long in their own lanes. They can't stay long in front of the turrets because they're setting things up. Yaoi is still here. Even if he doesn't go in, just the mindset of I could get engaged is very terrifying.
Oh, Black Dragon form already. Break it out.
It's on to Carl TZ now. And as you can see, Carl TZ is going to be targeted down, but a lot of damage. That's going to be the Razor's Wrath to buy a little bit more time, but he will be slain. Sanji finding Venus. Haji going to be the target right now. Sanji jumps into the Petrify as well. That's a double kill for the Gushin at M4. Sanford knocked out by the Furious Dive. Yaoi going to be able to dodge away right there from the skill shot from Edward, but Edward's going to be targeted down now. Sanji looking for it, gets it, and it's a triple kill. Unofficial, but still a triple kill for the Gushin that's making its debut on the world stage in the grand finals.
And this propels Echo about 1,000 gold ahead, and it's just back to business. Carl TZ making quick work of this turtle.
Honestly, in that team fight as well, Oh My Venus had a very good shot of using the Numinum Blast, but then gets cancelled by Yaoi, pulling him to the side, saying, no, my team can handle itself. And Oh My Venus engages off Yaoi, and Yaoi escapes that. Using the flicker, but again, it's all right because Echo, they're in control. Even in the team fight, they're micromanaging everyone's skills, everyone's ults to make sure that they don't get punished, to making sure that the Orcas are always going to be the one getting those kills.
And because of that pressure in the bottom lane and the relative absence of Blacklist from those responses in the bottom after the turtle take, they got pushed on bottom. Oh, it's a fight up top.
Haji gonna be stunned up, hands up for the airstrike. Sanji gonna be taken low, taken down, shut down by Haji. But Haji falls as well. Sanford!
Oh my God!
With the Bravest Fire! Jumps in, flickers forward. He knows exactly what he was doing. He finds 2 on the board. Not even the observers can believe it.
It's Cohen Ham up top for the House of Highlights. And Sanford just as quickly rotates down bottom. Wise, they're not done with him. They're still going.
The torn apart memory slays Wise as they pick up the tier 1 in the gold lane. 3,000 gold lead.
Conversion through the roof for Echo here. They're taking trades. They're taking bodies, taking turrets. Now 30 seconds away from the turret. Where does Blacklist find an angle for a comeback?
Okay, now we're looking. Oh My Venus is going to get punished.
Now you see him, now you don't. 2 members disappearing from out of nowhere. Oheb dealing damage on the Sanford, who's still going to be able to get away for a bit. Shutdown picked up, and Blacklist International strike back.
So what I saw just now, and I kind of think of the same thing, Blacklist, they got to stay inside the jungle of ECHO because they need to apply pressure and they need vision. Now they don't have both because, again, we talked about it before the game even starts, how ECHO is playing. They're pushing one lane, try to get 2 turrets, and then, before that, O'Hare gets caught.
Here, Carlteasy going to be able to find that. O'Hare falling in the gold lane. Carlteasy backing off. Edward still wants to commit with a Petrify and the Furious Dive. Now Sanford on the back line, getting the stun down, but not going to be able to find it just yet. Haji with wings by wings and the flicker out. Benny going to be caught here, stunned up and taken down. Sanford jumping in again. Wise still soaking all the damage in. That's going to be Sanji though, who comes in out of nowhere. Coming in again onto Venus. Not going to be able to find it just yet. Wise still able to get out for a bit with the shield unity, and he gets to safety. It's a 2-for-1 in favor of Blacklist.
All right, so there's a clapback. Blacklist, given that ECHO had to split up their priorities, Turtle says Carlteasy, no, fight, they say, and they're still going.
Sanford again! Jumps in, finds Haji. Oheb trying to melt him down, but it's not going to be enough as he is actually able to dish it the damage out. Oheb now going to be targeted down so low. He flickered out of there, but he's still going to be caught. Yaoi finds the Divine Judgment. No commitment just yet. ECHO decide to pull back.
All right, touche. We pull a treaties for now. Yep. 8 minutes in, 3K ahead ECHO. What's the item game looking like?
The item game is just showing Sanford. He only has the Bloodless Axe as a damage item and the Dominance Eyes just for armor. But again, looking at that, Sanford really should have died. But because Dominance Eyes now lowers the attack speed of your opponent, so Oheb doesn't have maximum attack speed at that point, and he just out-heals Oheb.
Oh man, you can see the carry is just so behind. Corrosion Staff, Golden Staff, he needs that with a nature, but he also needs an Athena at this point, right? There's so much damage output that ECHO can deal, and Blacklist are just not ready for that kind of dive.
Yep, it looks like ECHO evolved their strategy from game 2, wherein it's not the amount of damage you have, it's where you put it, given the skill shots that ECHO have to get in to be able to get these kills. Now 13-6. It just shows that they are playing off of momentum.
Oh, look at this. Oheb.
Gonna be stunned up, gonna be taken down by the total bomb memory. Flicker out by Benny QT is Wise, who's looking to re-engage with Edward as well. That's a stun coming in. Benny still able to escape, and he fakes the entire team. The Petrify and the Furious Dive connecting on to Benny QT. And Xiaoyi jumps in. Benny's still alive! Goes easy, taunts them up. It's a double kill for Sanji. ECHO Philippines, the house of highlights.
And it's just Oh My Venus left. It's as free a lord as it gets for ECHO. Barreling on forward, 5K ahead. LaFell, how does Blacklist come back?
Blacklist did everything right. That was not a mistake. Like, they managed to get Medicutie. Medicutie dashes away. He still got caught. And Blacklist, they still lost. Yaoi was able to pull Edward away. Like, again, it's not that Blacklist. They did the engage round. They did everything right. And it still wasn't enough. That's very discouraging.
This breaks the whole concept of the metagame that is box-centric, and it's all about geometry because ECHO aren't playing with any clear lines here. They're playing from a point-to-point basis, right? Yaoi point and click, Sanji point and click, Benny point and click. Carlteasy is the only one really setting up where ECHO can fight, and they always find the right places.
I honestly don't understand how Sanji keeps getting the hits as well, but right now Blacklist fights back.
Oh, they find a kill onto the jungler. Carlteasy gonna fall. Yaoi looking for a re-engage as the Lord marches down in the bottom lane. Sanji picking up the tier 2 in the mid lane. Blacklist International micromanaging the waves properly, getting it down. Still, 7,000 gold lead for ECHO. Wise opening up the map. Gets the shield unity down, but will be caught on Divine Judgment. Venus coming in, helping his jungler. Now as Benny QT is going to be able to get petrified down. That's going to be Sanji who finds the unstoppable in the back line with Sanford as well. The San duo on the back line. Wise going to be targeted down. Sanji not able to connect just yet. You held your breath there. Edward now running away. Yaoi still dishing the damage out. Sanford comes in again. And Benny with the follow-up to finish him off.
That sword spike was about an inch away from Wise. If Sanji had it hit, would have been over for King Wise. But that doesn't change the fact that this Lord, Luminous Lord, coming up in about a minute and change, should be lethal. Oh my Venus drops, the Luminous Blast is still going!
That's going to be the Feather Airstrike onto Yaoi. Still going to be able to get out. Athena's Shield popped in with Immortality as well. His Torn Apart Memory will be thrown out. Sanford falling to the hands of Oheb as he is able to find that kill, but it's just a 1-for-1. Echo decides to back off. Base turret still up, except that top side.
So in the defense, Blacklist had their priorities split up. Take down members of Echo, clear the waves. Something's got to give. That's that inhibitor up top. That's permanent damage.
Yeah, right now, Echo, they've already set up their checkmate because the Lord is going to come up. That is going to be something that Blacklist have to contest. Now the question is, can they even contest it?
And LaFell, to add to that, it's in the long lane. It's in the opposite lane that Lord is in. It's very clear, it's inevitable that Penny's going to try to do the same thing.
I mean, we talked about this. This is how they play. They set up the map to their own favor to make sure they have multiple ways to actually win the game. They can win through a team fight. They can win through getting Oheb, through getting Haji, or just going straight, beeline to the king, dropping down the base itself. So this is beautiful coming in from Echo. It's more or less the same thing, but executed in a different way.
They're playing with inevitability. Echo have played to a brilliant situation right now. They're 7K ahead. They're making easy work of this Lord, and Wise checking in. V pulls the conceal.
They've committed a lot of resources here. That's the Numenon Blast, not finding anyone. Yaoi looking for the Divine Judgment, able to find Wise as they try to burst down the Lord. Lord to be secured right now. Is that's going to be the winner sponged in by Sanji to buy a little bit more time again. Benny!
Oh!
Got it! With the flicker again to find a Torn Apart Memory. Yaoi's looking for more. That's going to be the Petrifying. The Furious Dive used up. Sanford jumping in with Bravest Fighter. Oh my God! Sanford! Benny! Sandy called TZ Yaoi! They keep styling on Blacklist.
That's 4 for 1. Lord as well going over to Echo. They're gonna push bottom lane, and they are going to threaten the game end. They catch Oheb.
Again, under the base. Oheb very low. It's match point for Echo.
The world champions have never been pushed to the limit, not like this perfectly, including the draft. We're about to go into game number 4. Major decisions are about to be made here. It's Blacklist on the play. Echo answering back. There goes the Cho. There goes the Kaja. Echo bans out the 1-1 and the Estes.
Man, last game, game number 3, in the drafts, Blacklist International were able to secure second pick. That was the most, well, that side is the most success they found in
Over
M4.
70%.
72% win rate on the red side as the second pick. Echo just shattered that, and now they're taking back the second pick away from Blacklist International. Were forced, again, to their first pick. It's not a bad win rate for them. It's still like 60%. But Echo, this is where they shine in the first pick, and in the second pick here, we're going to see Blacklist securing the Eve. Echo, what do they respond with? They respond with Glue and Fredrin. Deja vu.
Yeah, right now, whatever Blacklist brings out, this has to be their absolute best draft, because right now Echo is feeling pretty good, but for Blacklist, this is a best of 1. And Echo continues the trend, not allowing the Queen to use the Estes. They managed to get the Diggy, but if you see a Diggy, what do you have to do? You have to kill the Diggy over and over and over and over again. So now, I kind of feel like Echo, they completely expected this. So even though right now Blacklist, it seems like they're getting their heroes, I have this feeling in the back of my head, Echo is actually drafting for Blacklist.
Yeah, I agree with you. Given how fast they're responding, given how in a split second, Fredrin, Glue. But this time around, it seems like they're more deliberate. They have to consider. But just as quickly, all right, here's the Hilda. Last time we saw the Hilda played by Echo wasn't so good. What might make the difference here, Mirko?
Well, I think what makes the difference here, or what can make the difference here, is Echo banning out the gold laners, right? They've already gotten the 1-1 and the carry out. This is their opportunity. They have the first pick in the second phase. This is the time to ban out the gold lane, but instead they are still going, respecting Edward. So I think right now, they're thinking, hey, we've gone rid of the 1-1 and the carry. These two pose the most threat towards our composition. Might as well set up for Benny, right? Give him more room to play by banning out the backline threat. People who can dive, like the Lapu, maybe even the Yuzong next.
Yeah, looking at Lapu getting banned, this does show that Echo, perhaps they want to go for the Brody again because not a lot of mobility, so perhaps could be punished by, like you said, like a Lalapu, like a Yuzong. And the fact that they're picking up the Hilda, the only thing that I can think about, because usually you pick the Hilda to fight against assassins, but you can also fight against a lane going up with the Diggy, because sure, usually people take supports, healing supports, kind of like a Rafaela just to top yourself off, but you're still giving free stats over to Diggy. With a Hilda, you could dive early, so you're kind of like countering the Diggy by just putting a lot of pressure. If you want to throw bombs, I'm going to drop my hammer, my axe onto you.
Yeah.
And I've never seen a bird liking an axe to the head.
I've never seen anyone.
Yeah, most living things
Yeah.
don't like axes to their head. Real quick, still doesn't have a hero here for himself in the draft. Let's talk about Benny Cutie. For me, the thing I changed the most is my mindset. It was like I was holding back. Maybe because I'm scared other people will blame me. But this M series, it's like I'm all out no matter what happens. That's it. So that's what is just powering Benny Cutie here in the M series at the grand final stage is he doesn't care about what the others think anymore. It's just for him and for his team.
As a veteran, he's got nothing to lose now, right? He is in the biggest stage. And they pick up the Lunox. And this is such a brilliant Lunox pick because it's a flex pick.
Yeah, it's still
They've
flexible.
saved the mid lane and the gold lane is the last pick, and now you really see it, right? The Barats was picked up. The Lunox was left open. They went for the Harith. And this flex pick is going to cause havoc for Blacklist International.
I'm going to call it out. Echo, the moment they win the jungle fight, I'm going to say it's over. Because they can establish jungle control with the Frederick, with the Glue, with the Hilda.
Yeah.
And then the damage is there. They already have the Lunox. With this kind of draft, you can spiral out of control. You can build a hurricane. And it's a hurricane that's very difficult to stop.
Yeah, this is very similar to what they did already in this series alone. So the answer from Blacklist International seems to be the Beatrix and the Benedetta. Some classic picks from Blacklist International here.
The choice is made.
And I was wondering, how are they going to solve the range difficulty and difference between the Eve and whatever mid laner is going to be here for Echo? And here's how they do it, with Sanji's Savior.
It's not enough that you have very tanky front lines. Now you got a Mystic Field to think about.
Exactly.
Blacklist, they want to clump up together. They're going to get punished if they do. And like I said, this just further solidifies. If you're going to fight around in the jungle is very tight spaces. There's not many places that you can maneuver around the Mystic Field. All they got to do right now for Echo, crush two, just take two turrets in any lane and then establish jungle control. This is a very scary draft.
The Xavier is one of the heroes that forces the time journey out the best.
Yeah.
The Mystic Fields, getting 2 or 3 or even just one prio member will force that time journey to come out, and the damage as well from the Hilda early on. That's what they want to do.
It's low cost efficiency at the bane of your opponent's lineup. Will Blacklist bounce back? Because this is the last chance. Echo are forcing them into match point. Game number 4 in this best of 7 for the World Championship.
Dude, right now, Echo, they're super dominant. Who would have thought that the grand finals of M4 will be looking like this? Echo and Blacklist International. I'm looking at Yawi. I'm looking at this Hilda. It looks like Yawi will just chase absolutely anyone who wants to pressure Haji. And again, remember the game plan. Don't diverge too far. Haji, Oheb, don't let them be free. That's all you got to do.
And guess what? Winning lane for Sanford too. Edward gonna have a tough time in the mid lane. Haji should be able to win this out in a 1v1, but it's never the case with the Hilda roaming across the map. The Mystic Field is doing work already.
Yep, and it's not like there's much of a punish from Blacklist, not quite yet. So we're waiting for them to hit that power spike, put items on Oheb, maybe have Edward win 1v1 or at least a pickoff before the last turtle spawns. And it's that weird timing that Blacklist have to play around as Echo makes their presence known up top before making for turtle 30 seconds from now.
Looking at the situation again, Yawi not diverging, just go to the mid, go to the goal lane, just try to create space. Right now, Yawi is getting caught. Can Blacklist even execute a kill? I don't think so. No one can catch him, and they don't have the damage.
No kill pressure, not enough, right? Early on. Oheb is kind of a safe lane on the Beatrix. Venus can have some sort of pick potential with a reverse time, but then the case is you're trying to catch Hilda with sprint. I don't think you're going to be able to do that early on.
That is a practice in futility, if I've ever seen one. Now Yawi pushing away Oheb. And the thing is, this was a 3v2 situation about a minute ago. And what this allows is for Echo to have a priority with the turtle. They're already pushing for it. Carltesi and Sanford.
And that range advantage is already doing work right now. Carltesi on the Lord. Edward trying to steal it, but with no retribution. Carltesi is just going to be able to poke Edward down, securing the first objective of the game with no trades on the board. And look at Sanford already oppressing. Oh no, this is a disaster for Blacklist International's. Wise is going to be able to pop the death to his welcome, but now it's Sanford who's on the split. It's the first blood over to Echo. Haji looking for some compensation, but that's going to be Yawi who tries to help him out. The split's there for Sanford. He gets out. Venus trying to find that kill off. Reverse time, bringing it back, but Sanford's still alive. Has the slam, and the fast blast, and Haji gets picked off. Sanford is still alive, and Yawi is beating Oheb with a dotting line as well. Oheb forced the flicker out. The time journey comes in. 1,000 gold lead in 3 minutes, Yawi. Oh my goodness.
Close call. Yeah, right now, again, look at the checkmate being set up. Echo, who are they pressuring? Haji, as well as Oheb, and now, just for addition, Wise as well. They're pushing around mid. They're pushing around the gold lane, and now it looks like they could have a possibility of controlling the jungle. We predicted it, and now Echo, they're slowly but surely making it happen.
LaFell, up top. Benny Cutie has chipped away at almost a whole shield. 3 minutes in. 3 minutes in, and they're about 2K ahead.
What do you have to say, LaFell? You know, that's a mage. You're thinking of probably like, hey, that's what Bruno does to a turret. That's what Brody does to a turret. Hey, Lunox is here too. It's a good snipe by Oheb, getting a trade back. Wise now looking for it, but that's the Lunox right there. The brilliance is always ready to get you out of these tough situations.
Oh, look at Carltesi, the angle. Spots out V, forces out a time's journey. Oh!
That's it. That's a time journey baited out. Wise with death to his welcome. Onto Carltesi, but the damage will not be enough just yet. Carltesi can low, has the Appraiser's Wrath, gets back to full HP, the dotting line, almost sniping Venus. But guess who's here? Sanford's looking for the dive. Now, not going to be able to find it just yet. Pops the split. Edward trying to poke him down as Echo will disengage.
4 minutes in, Echo's already cornered Black, forced them with an early Ube just to protect Oheb.
Yeah, and again, look at what they're doing. They're sacrificing the EXP lane, going all the way to the goal lane, trying to win that lane. And now, because they're forced to be in the long lane.
Oheb. Oh my goodness, Oheb's gonna be killed. Solo, no, has help from Benny a bit. Venus finds a trade, but it's a gold laner for a roamer.
Dude, right now, Echo, they're really setting it up. There's no way for Blacklist to hide. Echo is not just forcing Blacklist to back away. They're forcing them to be in a position of getting attacked from all sides of the map.
5 minutes in, they're 1,000 gold ahead of the LaFell threshold. Is this the point wherein you say it's going to be difficult to come back? Because the early game clearly went over to Echo.
They got one turret. What they got to do, grab another one, and Very Cutie even secures the gold grab. But after this, you got to control the jungle. After you do that, it's going to be crazy. Because even looking at Haji right now, already completing the Clock of Destiny, he could have completed Enchanted Talisman first, but he's like, you know what? I'm just going to go for damage.
The uncharacteristic miss, too, from Oheb signals something that's even worse than just losing. Getting tilted in the game, in the final game. That can be the final game, right? How is their mental looking?
I'm hoping that that's not the case. Again, world champions are not built without pressure, without turmoil, without struggle. And this is a struggle of all struggles. How do you come back from a 6-minute game, 3K behind? Haji trying to space out so that Wise can come back. Oh, Dennis, welcome.
But the Mystic Field now, Sanji with the Dawning Light as well. Now popping, that's the mobility. Carl TZ jumps in and the killing spree picked up by Sanji. Now in the top lane, Edward finding a trade onto the objective now as he goes in onto the mini waves. Benny is still there. Edward now going to be able to dash away. Benny flickering forward, eye for an eye by Edward. Getting out to safety as he finds a trade finally for Blacklist.
Agent Zero gets away with his life. Close call from Sanji.
Yeah, right now Sanji 3-0 and 0. It's just gonna get stronger, and now Oheb getting pressured.
Again, Sanford flickering forward. Oheb forced to flicker out with the time journey as well.
Oh!
Sanford still going through with under the tier 2, under the base turret. They find the kill onto Venus. Yaoi gets traded back. Sanford as well. No, there's one left. There you go. You can't get out of that one. There's no way.
So Blacklist found a little bit of redemption on the map. 2 kills. They're going to protect their mid lane here, but they concede the last hurdle over to Echo. Still maintaining a 3K gold lead.
Right now, Blacklist, they're finding ways. They're finding opportunities. Right now, my Venus gets attacked, and he almost got chunked down.
Oh!
Anyway.
There you go. That's the Dawning Light connecting. Edward going to be taken low as Yaoi jumps in again. Onto Edward right now. As he's looking for the damage, he finds it with the power of wildness. Oheb with the Nibiru's passion to clear out the waves. It feels like Blacklist are trying their best to find a trade, but it's always going to Echo's favor.
Allow me to hypothesize. LaFell, what's going to happen if Blacklist fights Echo here, mano a mano every single time? If they try to trade, what happens? Will that eventually lead to a comeback, or will that be punished by Echo? Because again, 3K, that's about a main item for a core.
Not yet, because Edward is the one dealing the most amount of damage. Oheb, not just yet, because Carl TZ will always be in front. You can't shred that, because right now he only has the Blade of Despair. It's not enough. They can fight if they want, but the damage, they have to understand, is on Edward, not on Oheb.
Just look at it again, right? I mean, when Sanford can do that, dive into the base turret, sure, he was taken down, but the fact that he still was able to find a trade, it shows how dominant this game has been for Echo. If Blacklist want to come back, they're going to have to wait for those power spikes to hit. And even then, in the late stage, remember, Echo has a Lunox. They have a Xavier.
And it's a delicate dance that Echo have to go with here. Much like a Lord dance that goes for a minute and a half, Echo have to temper between aggression and discipline. They force out a flicker against Sanford down bottom. They push a main artery in mid. Blacklist here employing an Ube. They're letting Agent Zero force out something from Echo.
For me, it's not doom and gloom for Blacklist, because now they're moving around the map. They're making sure they're not getting caught. They're making sure that they don't do mistakes, because they will eventually have enough damage. We've seen time and time again, this Beatrix will shred everyone down. Right now, Edward, he's trying to slow down the Lord, but I feel like they should let this go. It's just a Luminous. It's not that big of a deal.
But if they let this go, what can they fight for, right? They're going for trades right now. You can already see it, but Sanji's going to be able to clear out the mid lane. They traded for a tier 1 down below. For the first Lord of the game, though, I think Echo are more than happy.
As a byproduct, the waves are going to be much stronger, right? Empowered minions. Lord's going to march on through top. Lord is set to spawn in the upper half of the map. And this does open up something for Agent Zero and Oheb to push down bottom. But Echo's still 4K ahead. And now they're also going to push up top. Oh no, I see what's happening here. They're setting up again for the potential split.
Oh man. Again, there's so many things to worry about if you're Blacklist International, right? Not only just the 5 members, but how they're playing. You're not just going for team fights, not just for picks, not just for sieges, but also for backdoors, for split pushes. Oheb with 1 Dawning Light gets chunked to half HP. With Lord marching down on the top side, it is going to be acting as a distraction, as Sanji's going to be taken to a quarter of his HP.
Ooh.
Lord taken down as Blacklist International are able to micromanage the waves for now. Mid lane to be pushing in. Benny with the chaos. Oh my goodness, that damage onto Venus is insane. Sanford zoning the other members away, but so far it's an amazing defense by Blacklist International.
They force Agent Zero to come back home. He can't force the issue down bottom in the inhibitor. LaFell, what's the answer here? Lord coming in about 2 minutes.
Again, you just gotta wait it out, because right now what Blacklist did, they got a lot from the Lord coming in from Echo, actually, because they see, all right, you're going for this objective. They managed to get 2 turrets down in bottom. That's a lot of gold steal, but Oheb here with like the low 50% HP. this is pretty bad. They gotta wait for Echo to overextend, and hopefully they can fight back.
That's a small dinosaur. Wise not tanky enough. The time journey buys him time, but it only cancels out CC, not damage. Carl TZ with the Appraiser's Wrath. Haji trying to fight desperately, but the split connects, and it takes him down. Yowie in the midst of the base finds Oheb low. Edward gets a trade up in the top lane. Sanford recalling. Echo looking for the siege into the base turret. Blacklist still able to defend.
2 for 1, and Agent Zero was not able to do anything up top. Oheb didn't fall, so there's some silver lining here, signs of life from Blacklist International.
Yeah, because again, the name of the game is the turrets right now. Edward going for Sanji, and he's doing a lot of damage. And this is why I say, if Blacklist, they're pressured, we gotta look at Edward. He is the one that could potentially give them this game victory. If Blacklist can pull Echo around, come here, take the bait. My name is Haji. My name is Oheb. Don't you want me? Let Edward have the space to try and potentially push, get some gold, get the items, and then try to win the team fight.
And this brute force breastplate in Edward's arsenal is going to be super key. He's going to be super important in maybe quelling 2 or 3 members of Echo, if Echo do send 2 or 3 members. I think Echo is just playing their game here, 6K ahead, making a jockey for this Luminous Lord. If they do take this Lord for free, which is likely, oh Lord, that's very quick, they're definitely going to get at least 1 inhibitor.
That was like, what, as fast as securing a buff? That was
Even faster,
even
honestly.
faster
It
than
felt
securing a
faster.
buff. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Blacklist International. Oh, Edward gets spotted out. That cancels the recall. Edward running for the hills right now. Pops in a final blow. Gonna be able to dash for a bit longer. Sanford looking for the chase. Not able to find it. Agent Zero survives. But still, it's Echo who utilizes that to set up in the bottom lane.
Looking at this, I again, like, I'm still pulling out hope because Blacklist can do a lot. But as we said before the game, Echo, they're scaling. It's not like they're gonna, drop in terms of damage. They're just getting stronger and stronger, and now Wise getting pressured.
The Mystic Field locking him down. As Wise tries to get out, but Sanford flickers forward, baiting out a time journey. The mid lane, base server is gonna fall right now as that's gonna be the siege coming in. Sanji flickering out. Edward did not use the final blow. That was a prediction by Sanji that did not work out, but it's still Echo who are marching, who are knocking on the base of Blacklist International. Bottom side, reverse time, bringing Sanford back, but the split gets him out of there right now. Edward still not popping a final blow just yet, charging up his dashes, and still it's Echo who are playing it so well, disciplined.
Top lane inhibitor at half health, waves crashing in through bottom. They're waiting for a wave in the mid. Echo here might get punished, look at Yowie.
That's the immortality popped in. Edward trying to split this side, but Yowie gets out of the detonus. Welcome. Edward trying to find an opening, but will be caught in the Mystic Field. Immobilized and poked down. Echo now onto the purple buff. 2-level lead for Carl TZ against Wise. He takes it away, and he walks out.
Carl Dietz just ate a face full of Nibiru's passion and walks away from it. Does OM need any more items? I'm wondering if there's enough in the next 2 or 3 minutes, because this Lord coming in, it's just Luminous, all right? Just a Luminous Lord. A minute from now.
Looking at the items right now, Blade of Despair, Malefic Roar, as well as the Hunter Strike. In my personal opinion, this is enough. But now, how do you dish out the damage? Because you have enough damage necessary to take down Echo. Because looking at the lineup, the only one that you're going to have problems with is Sanford, as well as Carl Easy, because they do have the Blade Armor, and the Blade Armor does hurt going up against a Beatrix. So Beatrix is going to have a little bit of problem there, but the main problem is staying inside the fight. I kind of feel like at this point, maybe Oheb has to wait for every single item, including the Haas Claw, to stay alive, because the problem is not about dishing out a damage, it's about staying alive.
And how do you stay alive against a lineup that finds angles and forces you to respond like this, even without committing? And that's what 8K gold buys you ahead of your opponent. Now, 15 minutes in, about 5 seconds away from this Lord. It's interesting to see that Blacklist, it seems like they're jockeying for position. Should they contest this?
This one, I kind of feel like they got to go for a 4-1, but now Wise eating someone.
Again, Oheb's going to be chunked low from across the map. The snipe not connecting. Yowie dodging away with the sprint. That's Edward jumping to the back line, but it's not enough damage to take Sanji down. He doesn't even pop the flicker. The Petrify was used already. A lot of resources spent. Sanford now jumping in. Dawning Light taking Venus to have a half HP. Wise looking for the opening. Edward going to be caught in the Mystic Field once again as he jumps out with the eye for an eye. Venus taken low by Benny and Sanford, who's now on Wise. Bringing him back, immobilizing him. Sanford jumps in again! He finds it! Venus forced to run away. Haji standing his ground, but Carl Teasy jumps in. The flicker out to safety as Wise is being caught by the Mystic Field. Echo looking to march down. Benny with damage. Appraiser's Prize connecting as well. Yowie finding the kill onto Wise. Yowie getting out. Sanford immobilizing him. 5 members strong. 2 members down from Blacklist.
Just 3 defenders for Blacks International. They still have Haji. Sanji pushing in. Look at Edward. Force got a winner truncheon.
The mortality bot as well. Edward gonna be stunned up, immobilized, everything. He's not moving. Edward will fall. He buys the mortality in time, but he's gonna fall again to the damage coming through. The time journey saves it, but the Appraiser's Wrath takes the Queen down. Haji locked out of Mystic Field. The Dawning Light outranging the real world inflation. Sanford finds a double. Echo, they haven't just broken the code. They have shattered it. 4-0 for the Orcas.
The age of the Orcas is now. Echo are your M4 world champions.
Winning the game, getting the checkmate, setting everything up. Right now, Echo from the Philippines is your official M4 world champions.